Here's another segment where Joe Louis, former full contact and point karate champion, stated that Bruce Lee was not a fighter. Someone had to make a point of that statement from Louis, God rest Joe Louis's soul. First of all, let me say this, since people here lately want to say I don't respect certain individuals. I just simply tell the truth. But anyway, Joe Louis was a very good martial artist. And I'm not going to candy coat anything. I'm going to say what I see, express what I believe. Joe Louis was a very good karate competitor. He was, both in point karate and in the ring. Now, with that said, someone was responding to one of my videos and they took the notion to leave a link to express that Joe Louis made a statement in Black Belt magazine of 1985 that Bruce Lee was not a fighter. And he was being interviewed, Louis that is, by Black Belt magazine editor or news person, if you will. And I read it. That is what Joe Louis said in Black Belt magazine in 1985. Yes, he did say that. But what in the heck does that have to do with what occurred after that? There was many times where basically Joe Louis recanted that statement or changed that statement and said that he learned many things from Bruce Lee that helped him in his fighting career and to win in tournaments. He learned that from Bruce Lee, and those were his words as well. And he was a student of Bruce Lee. Joe Louis was, just like Chuck Norris was, and Mike Stone, and various other karate people during that time who don't want to give him credit for it, and still haven't given him credit for it. And celebrities also that Bruce Lee taught, who do give him credit and have given him credit for what they learned from him and his experience. So the person that pointed out the Black Belt magazine article is someone that was making statements about Bruce Lee fanboys as if Bruce Lee could beat everybody, like John Jones and so on and so forth. No one's ever said that. I haven't ever said that. But what's crazy, I believe, is that a lot of those people during that time when Bruce Lee was living never challenged him, never ever. Those karate people, because they were afraid of him. Let's just call it what it is. They were afraid of being embarrassed by him. And some were embarrassed by him. And as Jim Kelly said, God rest his soul, he know who Bruce Lee sparred with, and that he won't mention their names, or didn't mention their names out of respect to them. He didn't want to put them on blast, if you will, or expose them, while they're walking around saying many years later that Bruce Lee was not all that, and Bruce Lee was not a fighter, and he had no real credentials, and he never won a championship and things of this sort. Like Master Morris said, and some others said that he never won a championship, but they keep comparing him to a sport karate thing, and that was not what he did. Bruce Lee never did sport because he studied fighting. Doesn't that make sense? So now, many years later, after the man can't defend himself, all of this rhetoric gets spewed out. Hey, he's not this and he wasn't that. But it's funny, these people talking about him never got the publicity that Bruce Lee got. These people talking about him never became world renowned like Bruce Lee did. These people talking about him never had the skill set that Bruce Lee acquired. These people talking about him never had books on fighting that they created themselves. They never did. Can we say jealousy? You know, the Bible says jealousy is as cruel as the grave. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. These guys are not celebrated on the level that Bruce Lee is. And for this guy that they say that was not a fighter, it's really funny. It's really odd that his legacy has withstood the test of time. After 50 years of dying, he's still highly revered and talked about. Not them, but Bruce Lee. And I'll leave it at that. That says something. So, that was it. And that was all.